Disclaimer, this game is in early access. The state of the game that you see in this video could be entirely different to the game you play. Remember when Temple Run was the coolest thing to grace the earth? God, how times were simple. Swipe left or right, up or down, dodge the obstacles, collect the coins. So simple yet so fun. And kind of infuriating. Well, today I have something that might just bring those feelings back to you. Phantom Abyss. A game that is very new. So new in fact, it was shown off in the latest E3 presentation of 2021. If you've been tempted by this game, stuck it in your wishlist and thought hard enough to look up a review of Phantom Abyss, well, look no further. I took the plunge, or slide, and I'll be going over the game's mechanics, playability, bugs, and even give you my review of it at the end. I know, how lucky you are. So, what is Phantom Abyss? A relatively new game to grace us in early access, I know, but don't be fooled. Although this game has its issues, which we will go over, it actually is a really fun game. Take the role of a randomly generated character, one of which you'll never see the face of, and embark on an epic adventure through procedurally generated temples in a 3D environment. The premise is pretty simple. Make it as far as you can, steal the relic from the temples. Of course, it's not as simple as jumping over a spike here and there, or dodging a falling block. There are far more dangers of which the likes of me are able to survive. Anyway, the game starts with you taking on the tutorial, a tough task of course. It's a great little area that gets you feeling the flow of the game. As you progress, you find yourself jumping and diving, sliding and falling, until you are graced with a lovely whip. This handy little tool will save your life more than you know it. Trust me on that one. Adventuring further into the tutorial area, you find yourself in a hugely open room. Golden laced walls, water flowing, your eyes drawn to the center, which a relic rests. Stepping closer, you are prompted to take the relic. This is where your adventure begins. Once you make it back to the hub area, you're greeted by some sort of statue possessed by a deity. He gives you the task of collecting more of these relics, stating that they contain a power so immense they can free you both from this tomb. I'm not quite sure you really want to free this guy. I mean, his voice is about 10 octaves too low, and I'm not sure freeing something that is stuck inside a statue is the best idea. But curiosity killed the cat, and unfortunately, I died a lot. So, how does the game work? Surely it's just jumping over stuff, sliding here and there, getting the relic, freeing the demon that's definitely nice and not evil? Well, it's not that simple. The game actually has a bit of depth to it. When you're in the hub world, you can approach this lovely looking portal, and you are given a couple choices. A new path, follow someone, and specific path. Firstly, follow someone was actually under construction. Apparently some bugs were reported, so the developers disabled this feature. It might be re-enabled by the time you play, but as of this video, it was disabled, so I can't really tell you much about it. Specific path is interesting. You can actually get a code for a temple and share it with your friends to see if they can beat a temple you couldn't. Bit of co-op there. Lastly, a new path. This was the route I took, as I have no friends who play this game, so anyway. Choosing a new path will place you in a random temple that could either be randomly generated by a previous adventurer, or it could be a brand new temple only discovered by yourself. With each temple, you are given 3 hearts. Once these hearts are diminished, your time in that specific temple comes to an end. You see, with this game, it has somewhat of a hardcore one run element. You get one shot to get the relic at the end of that specific temple, no reruns. Once someone completes the temple, it actually becomes unavailable to be completed again, which is a cool little feature. Sometimes the game will state that a certain number of people actually died before you, and when you enter, the ghosts of the people about to take on that very same temple you are facing will be wandering around. This will actually give you a bit of insight on how to take on the temple, unless you're like me and get too distracted looking at them and die the same way they do. How did you die? How did you die? Wait, what? Ah! I guess that's how they died. Jeez, so bad. I don't want to hear it. These are real people that took on the temple too, so when you die, your ghost will remain in this temple, haunting whoever takes on the next challenge. Of course, you can actually give the temple code to a friend to attempt, so whilst the game doesn't have direct co-op, it has a nice little competitive side to it. Along the way, there are lootable crates. Don't worry, EA has nothing to do with this one. They contain coins. Sometimes they can be found in breakable vases too. With these coins, you can actually upgrade your adventurer, raising the survivability by just a bit. You can also purchase doors that skip entire areas. Of course, that comes at a price and a choice if you would rather spend your coins on a door skip or potential upgrades. As for upgrades, you'll first need to gather up a certain amount of coins. With each upgrade, the price for the next one increases. This gives you more of a reason to try and survive. The ones I found included hover by holding jump, double jump, an extra heart container, which can actually stack, chance to avoid damage, chance to gain health instead of taking damage on a fall, longer whip range, and extended jump height when crouching. Now, I'm sure there are more than this, but unfortunately I died a lot, so my coins didn't really stack up that much, but these were the ones I found. Be warned though, once you die you will actually lose your whip, which can be recollected at the hub. Mainly you will lose any abilities purchased and coins gained, giving you an incentive to survive beyond gaining a relic. With each temple, the difficulty will vary. Something you find easy, someone else may not. This game does a great job of hiding traps or fooling you into taking a certain route. The traps this game has to offer are perfectly balanced in terms of difficulty and rage-inducing pain. You'll sometimes find yourself facing an easy slide under a spinning blade, or a short run across a rotating cylinder. Something will catch you off guard, like this room of spinning blades, all of which are set to different heights on the ground, whilst you're being chased by a floating head. We got this. Oh my god, hello monk! Ugh! Ow! Ow! Ah! Leave me alone! I'm so dumb. I was panicking. The monk was coming. Yeah, I can safely say I failed under pressure in that one. What was the floating head, you ask? Okay, so with each temple, there are 4 stages that must be completed before you can even think of taking that sweet juicy relic for yourself. As you progress deeper, the protector of the temple will awake and begin to chase you. There are a few varieties of these protectors. I came across 3 in total. One was a pursuer. With each stage he would get faster, causing me damage the closer he was. The second was a protector that shot acid bombs at me, each time shooting more and more, covering the area in a gas of acid. This one also teleported randomly, so kind of hard to gain distance on that one. And the third was a sun? Some sort of round planet? I'm not too sure. It shot rays of light at me. I didn't get hit by the ray of light, but I'm sure it will hurt. The ray would charge up, giving you enough time to try and find a path out of its way, but I'm sure under pressure this one could cause some agony. So yeah, if traps weren't enough, you'll also have these protectors coming after you. I found the deeper I went, the harder it was to gather the coins for upgrades too, meaning you'll have to make a choice between getting away or getting rich. It's been a while since I've felt cool in a video game. Super Hot in VR is probably the last notable game that made me feel like I had any potential of being a real life John Wick. Mirror's Edge is another. Games with good movement and fun mechanics and intense gameplay always feel that little extra special when you play them. And Phantom Abyss is a new contender for that feeling. In the early stages of a temple, running through, collecting coins, doing your thing, it feels calm and chill. But when you start getting deeper and in the thick of it, you have a floating head chasing you, you're on one heart, pulling off a slide, jumping over a chasm, only to use your whip to pull you back up. Yeah, that's the real Indiana Jones stuff right there. The movement of Phantom Abyss is fluid. This game got its movement right. You can even jump off a 50-foot drop and roll as if it was nothing. But get that roll timing wrong and well, you've wasted a heart. The movement encourages you to move at a fast pace, use its fluid transitions to not only feel cool but keep momentum when running from danger. Overall, it's pretty basic in theory. You have your jump, slide, crouch. You can also use your whip to get to elevated places. When you buy upgrades, you can also upgrade certain aspects of the movement. As I said before, they can include anything from double jumps to hovering abilities or even extend your whip length, so you can fly further through the air. All in all, I have no faults with the movement. It was pretty easy to pick up, but offered more to players who combine the elements of the movement. I can see this game going far in the speedrun community. This will be a pretty short section, mainly because I only had one major issue with the game, and that was severe FPS drops. I run a pretty decent PC with a 2080 Ti and an i9 processor. This game runs at a solid, locked 144 FPS for me most of the time, but I found the longer I stayed in a temple, the worse the FPS dropped. At some points I was facing 30 FPS, which is a pretty dreaded number for PC gamers. I have a theory it's because of the ghosts. I imagine that the other players' ghosts are rendering in other parts of the map before I actually get there, but I could be wrong. Apparently it is a known issue and they are working on fixes for it, but just be warned, this could be something you might face. As for other issues, I don't really have any. It was a pretty flawless playthrough for me. I would go into a tomb, attempt to get as far as I can, have fun, and die. The FPS drops were a bit jarring here and there, but honestly it didn't occur too often for me. My honest opinion of Phantom Abyss is that it is a great and fun game. Obviously, this shouldn't be a main game for anyone, and if you buy this expecting to play it for 5 hours a day, you might be a bit lost. But as a game that fills a void, or when I have nothing to do, this really solves that problem. I can play it mindlessly, not care too much when I die, or I can try my hardest and see how far I can go in a temple. Honestly, this game feels like it could become a classic in years to come. It has great premise, and as long as it doesn't get ruined by any sort of paywall or updates, this game could really go far, and one day, it might even belong in a museum. Anyway guys, thanks for watching my review of Phantom Abyss. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments down below if you plan on buying it, or not, after seeing this review. As always, check out our socials in the description. I've been your host Cammy, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.